It's always easier to destroy than to build. This sentence reflects the story of the legendary Pan-American Airways, an airline that once dominated the skies and operated for years without a rival in the aviation industry. Through a series of strategic missteps and consecutive strokes of bad luck, it fell from its peak glory to a painful decline. In this video, we take a closer look at the main strategic mistakes that caused the downfall of the Pan Am company. So let's get started. Pan Am was founded in 1927 by one trader. In its early days, it operated as a mail delivery service using propeller plane of the time. Initially, its routes were limited to certain cities in the United States, such as Florida, and extended to Cuba. By 1940, passenger transportation was gradually added to the company's service, and its flight network expanded to include South America and Europe. Pan Am, as the first international airline with routes and schedules spanning all continents, experienced the peak of its glory between 1950 and 1970. This 20-year period marked its golden age, during which the brand enjoyed a near monopoly in international air travel. Without any significant competitors, Pan Am dominated both international and domestic flight markets, solidifying its status as a leader in the aviation industry. During this period, Pan Am transported an average of 8 million passengers annually across the globe, excluding Antarctica. Its yearly revenue was approximately $1 billion, which is estimated to be around $7 billion in 2025 after including the inflation. However, this peak lasted only until 1970. After 1971, a series of misfortunes and weaknesses in crisis analysis and management led to the gradual decline of the brand. By 1991, despite Pan Am's trademark being the second most recognized brand in the world, the company was forced to declare bankruptcy, making the end of this iconic American airline. Over several decades of operation, Pan Am gained numerous competitive advantages, including a very large and advanced fleet, highly professional and well-trained multilingual crews, unique interior designs, and a range of distinctive efforts to provide an exceptional flight experience. In addition to these initiatives, the company also made smart side investments to manage risks and enhance profitability. For example, Pan Am diversified its investment portfolio by purchasing the Intercontinental Hotels chain, acquiring shares in major aircraft manufacturing companies, and merging with several local airlines in major countries. Pan Am's strategic mistake, which is considered the biggest in its history, occurred around 1971. At the time when the company was experiencing rapid and steep growth, it became overly confident. Without properly assessing political and geopolitical risks and assuming that this growth would last forever, Pan Am placed a large order for advanced Boeing 747 aircraft to further strengthen its fleet. This decision was inherently positive and strategic, aimed at growth. However, the problem lay in the sheer volume of the order. The cost of purchasing this fleet, along with the maintenance expenses, significantly increased Pan Am's operating costs. As a result, the company would have needed at least 10 years without any disruption or issues for the brand to return to its previous financial stability. Another major misfortune for the company occurred when tensions in the Middle East, one of the main oil suppliers, escalated. 2 years later, in 1973, the famous oil crisis began, and due to OPEC's oil embargo, oil prices surged by 300% in a short period. As a result, aircraft fuel prices increased dramatically, and Pan Am, already facing financial pressure, saw a significant decline in profits. As a result of this pressure, the second strategic mistakes occurred. Instead of selling some of less important assets to ease financial strain, Pan Am began widespread layoffs across its workforce. This move sparked significant backlash and damaged the company's brand image. As a result, demand for its flights decreased. On the other hand, due to financial pressures, the brand was no longer able to provide the same exceptional flight experiences to its customers. Meanwhile, competitors with competitive advantages were emerging and growing. These competitors, being smaller at the time, were far less affected by the 1973 oil crisis than Pan Am. As regulatory issues were resolved and they obtained licenses to create new flight routes, these competitors grew rapidly and soon captured a significant share of Pan Am's market. The ultimate strike in this domino of decline was the Gulf War, which caused another spike in the oil prices, a severe drop in global demand for air travel, and ultimately the Lockerbie terrorist attack. Following this, Pan Am Flight 103, heading to New York, exploded in the skies over Scotland, killing over 300 people. Following this event, global distrust in the safety of the airline's flight reached its peak, and after that, Pan Am began its downward spiral. This path culminated in 1991 when Pan Am declared complete bankruptcy and its remaining assets were purchased by Delta Airlines. All that remained of this great brand was a name and a beautiful nostalgic white and blue logo. Certainly, these oil and terrorist crises are beyond everyone's control and affect everyone. The important point is the level of preparedness in facing this crisis. Crises are always present, and every organization must consistently maintain a strong focus on survival during such time. Just as airlines faced a severe quarantine crisis and a significant drop in demand during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2019, they ultimately found ways to survive.